And so from the Students tab, I am going to just click on Anaconda to go to her student profile. On her student profile, I am going to scroll down and I'm going to find that placement assessment that we created the other day. And you'll notice that there is a Create Plan button. So I'm going to click that. Now, normally you would do this sort of as one step. You'd create your assessment, and at the bottom, there is a button that you can click to create a learning plan right now. So for Anna, I am going to recommend 3 classes a week. So you can adjust it right here. And I usually teach 25-minute classes. So I'm just going to change that, but you've got all sorts of options here. And if one of these class durations doesn't work for you, by all means, reach out and I can add additional little tags there for you. The first thing that you need to then choose is strengths. And what you will notice is the placement assessment identified that Anna was about an A1 SEFR level. And so the strengths and the areas for improvement are actually linked to that level and to that placement result. And so I'm going to just choose a couple. You don't want to overwhelm parents. So from the placement assessment, I'm going to say that she can handle everyday expressions on familiar topics, and maybe she uses basic time words today, yesterday, and tomorrow with support. I'm then going to choose a couple of areas for improvement. And so I want to, with Anna, I want to introduce extending sentence length about routines and preferences. And I want to encourage her to ask simple follow-up questions. And maybe I'm going to put a third one here. I'm going to begin to use present and future time with support. And so in this case, I want to really give some thought when I'm choosing the areas of improvement to what the parent has told me their goals are. So if their goal for their child is improving writing, I'm going to look for things that are more writing related on this list. If their goal is more speaking related, then I'm going to look for things that are more speaking related on this list. And so I do try and do that. Now, the other thing is that I can customize this. So maybe instead of just routines, I want to talk about daily activities and likes and dislikes. Very, very similar to what it was, but just a little bit more plain language for my particular parent. You'll notice here that we already have a comment, and this one actually was from the placement assessment result when we created that. We then have some short-term goals. These again are tied to the SEFR level, and it does give you a tip here. Just choose a couple. So short-term goals, 2 to 3 bullets. So because we're focused on speaking, and these are now very much ranged that way, I'm going to choose them from my speaking, and I'm going to tie them very closely to my areas for improvement. So my short-term goal, talk about daily routines and ask 3 basic questions to keep a conversation going. Then I have my A2 goal here. It gives a suggested one, and you can use that or you can change it, whichever you like. And I do want to share the learning plan on the Parent Hub. And then this is where I get to choose my curriculum. And so if you're using the Florentis Learning curriculum, then you will already have a good idea sort of based on that where to place this student. And so A1, I'm going to choose level 3. It will have told you at the end of your placement assessment what unit to start in, all of those things. So I'm going to choose level 3. And if I was using speaking curriculum as well, I could maybe add on. I want to also use the beginner speaking curriculum. So I'm going to use both of those. The beginner and elementary speaking curriculum, you can sort of use beginner with level 2, 3, and you can use elementary there as well with sort of the similar lessons. It just sort of depends what topics your student is familiar with and what topics they need to work on. I do see that I need to make some updates to this because I have released the first section of the elementary writing curriculum, and we've also just last week or the week before released our second level of our phonics curriculum, which is phonics adventures with an outer space themed topic. So I will make adjustments just so those are available and you can click on them. And then I'm just going to save my learning plan. And so that's all there is to it. So it took just a couple of seconds for me to create that learning plan. and I'm just going to let it save. And then I will show you how to get a printable version. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat for me. And if you are here and watching, let me know. If you're catching the replay, again, you can still put your questions in the chat. I will come back to them and find them for you. So within this now, it took me back to her student profile. And if I just scroll down a bit, you'll notice I now have a learning plan on file. I have a button to view the plan, to edit the plan, or to print the plan. In this case, I'm going to go to the print view. You can go to the view plan and then to print, but this is just faster. It will allow me to do it sort of with one step. And I'm just letting that load, and I'm going to switch tabs because it does open in a new tab. So I am going to share this tab. I think it's switching. Let me just check that it has actually switched for everyone. So yes, so you'll see this is Anaconda's learning plan now. And you'll notice that the information has all disappeared. So we still have fake information like the test email and test link and all of those things. But we have a learning plan for Anaconda, English Development Roadmap. It's 8 to 12 weeks. And then we have the teacher summary. These are generated just based on the levels and SEPHR levels. And then we've got our learning commitment, 3 classes a week, 25 minutes. These are the things that we selected, and this was our recommendation. The one thing that I didn't populate was the next steps, and I do usually recommend that we populate it, even with something like, book your lessons on on your booking website, or something the parents can do at home, all of those things. So this is, and it does put your date that the learning plan was prepared and everything at the bottom. So this is a nice printable document. I can just print this to a PDF and send it to my parents that I am working with.